Hi, I've got these two boxes of ammunition. CCI 22 long rifle with a 40 grain round nose lead projectile and CCI Green Tag 22 long rifle with a 40 grain round nose lead projectile. Recently, a viewer sent me these two boxes of ammunition and asked me a very simple question. And to paraphrase it, the question was, except for the Green Tag having a higher price, is there any real difference between these two ammunitions? Well, in looking at the label, they're both CCI, they're both 22 long rifle, they're both 40 grain round nose lead projectile, and they both have advertised velocities stamped on the box. And for both of them, that velocity is 1,070. In looking at the label, the only real difference I see is that the Green Tag has the word competition stamped on the label, and the, for lack of a better word, regular ammunition has the word target stamped on the label. Now that would imply that the Green Tag is match grade ammunition. True match grade ammunition is held to stricter standards than regular ammunition. There's more care and diligence put into having consistent propellant measurements and consistent projectile weights. And according to the competition shooters that I've worked with, true match grade ammunition is more accurate than regular ammunition. But is that the case here? Well, to take his question and break it down into the questions that I'm going to ask, the first one is, these two ammunitions have the same advertised velocity. Are they really going to produce similar velocities? And they advertise a velocity of 1,070. What kind of velocities will we really get? Third, when I shoot these ammunitions through rifles that I would consider to be typical 22 rifles, like my 1022 or my Marlin Model 60, will the Green Tag really be more accurate? And of course, fourth, even if it is more accurate, is there going to be enough difference to make a difference? And fifth, how will either of these stack up against CCI Mini Mag 22 long rifle with a 40 grain copper plated round nose projectile and an advertised velocity of 1,235 feet per second? Well, we'll see if we can answer those questions, and of course we're going to start with some tedious chronograph testing. So I've got the chronograph set up at 7 yards, and we'll start with our CCI regular stuff. $1,044. $1,034. $1,052. 1,034, 1,027, 1,031, and 1,054. Now let's see how that compares to the Green Tag. And now the Green Tag ammunition. $1,028, 1,055, 1,050, 1,025, 1,035, 1,056, 1,036, and 1,059. Now let's see how those compare to the Mini Mags. And now our CCI Mini Mags. 1151. 1171, 1203, 1168, 1191, 1016. That's probably an erroneous reading. 1156, and 1139. Now we'll throw out that 1068 because I know that that was erroneous. But let's go crunch the numbers. Well, I crunched the numbers, and here they are. And of course, this comes with the normal caveats that chronographs don't always agree with each other, and certain environmental factors like elevation and ambient temperature can affect chronograph results. So with that, the results I got were, with our regular ammunition, a mean velocity of 1,039 feet per second. With the green tag ammunition, 1,043, a difference of 4 feet per second. Within the variation of one round to the next, not enough difference to make a difference. However, with our Mini Mag ammunition, we've got a mean velocity of 1,168. That's 125 feet per second more than our green tag ammunition. That's a lot more. So we see the Mini Mags are indeed significantly more powerful. But when we're talking about match grade ammunition, a very important factor is consistency. Now, with our regular ammunition, if we compare the lowest velocity to the highest velocity that I recorded, we have a difference of 27 feet per second. With the green tag, that difference is 34 feet per second. The difference between the two, 7 feet per second, not enough difference to talk about. And if I were to shoot more strings, those numbers might vary slightly. But if you really want to get technical, our regular ammunition outperformed the green tag ammunition. However, again, when we compare to the Mini Mags, the difference between the lowest and the highest velocity was 64 feet per second. So we see our regular and our green tag are indeed more consistent than the Mini Mags. However, what difference, if any, will that consistency make when we compare the accuracy of these ammunitions? Let's put that to the test. So to compare accuracy, I'll shoot my 1022 from 50 yards with a bench rest, and I'll shoot the Mini Mags, then our regular ammunition, then our green tag ammunition, and we'll see how the groups compare. An important thing to note is that this rifle was zeroed with CCI Mini Mag 36 grain hollow points. It was not zeroed with any of the ammunitions we're using today. So we need to concern ourselves not so much with the location of the group, but the size of the group. And there's our results, and it looks like our green tag ammunition performed pretty well. Let's see if we can confirm this. I'll put up 3 new targets, and I'll repeat this drill with my Marlin Model 60, and let's see what kind of groups we get. So here's our groups with the Model 60, and altogether, these are some really interesting results. We see that with the 1022, the location of the group didn't shift very much, but the size of the group was significantly different. With the Model 60, we see almost the opposite. The location of the group shifted significantly, but now the size of the groups aren't all that different. And although I'm shooting from 50 yards from a bench rest and I'm trying to take as much of me out of the equation as I can, these groups still reflect the ability of my eyes to focus on these sights and my ability to shoot this particular rifle. So when we ask our original question, is there really any difference between our green tag and our regular ammunition, I've got to say, for the most part, no. But depending on the shooter and depending on the rifle, and if you're trying to do some really precise target shooting, sometimes, yes, there will be a difference. So, as always, don't try this at home on what you call a professional, and thanks for watching the regular CCI versus green tag CCI 22 ammunition video. Now the credits have already rolled, but we're going to add a supplemental portion to today's presentation. A few days have gone by and we've got two significant changes. One, today is a sunny day, and two, a viewer just sent me these really nice targets. So we're going to repeat this drill with the Mini Mags, the regular and the green tag, shooting from 50 yards with a bench rest, but now with different weather conditions and with targets that aren't the same color as the sights on my Model 60. And let's see what kind of results we get now. So these targets were very easy for me to see, but not so easy for you to see the bullet holes. So let's do a real close-up of these impacts. So here's our group with our Mini Mags. Here's our group with our regular ammunition. And here's our group with our green tag ammunition. So based on these new results, when we go back to our original question, is there any real difference between the regular and the green tag, it appears the answer remains the same. For most people under most conditions, no, there isn't really any difference. But depending on the shooter and depending on the rifle and depending on the circumstances, sometimes, yes, there is.